What's up, guys? It's Gabe here. This is my first attempt at a podcast ever, so we'll see how it goes. I've never really done this, so bear with me. This is gonna be like a raw, uncut, just explanation of how Kosmos started, and then I'm hoping to try to do these as often as possible. So, basically, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Gabriel Pishka. I am 17. I'm from Hershey, Pennsylvania. And this past November, I started a online clothing store called Kosmos Clothing. And I had been working on it for several months now. I think I started officially working on Kosmos in August of 2020. So it's in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, the quarantine, so to speak. And I was just in my room one day. I was editing videos because that's what I do by trade. You could say I'm a filmmaker, a video editor, and a photographer. And so I started that business when I was 14, and I have been doing that from age 14, pretty much up until now. And it's only grown every year. But I've always had a passion for fashion, you could say, and I've always loved clothes. I've always loved like art and stuff like that. So I originally had started a clothing line called Freedom Seeker. This was probably 2019, I'd say, my sophomore year. I originally started this clothing brand called Freedom Seeker, and I actually really liked the brand, but I did it in like I basically did everything wrong that you could do when starting a brand, but that's because I had no idea how to do it. So I literally I thought of the name Freedom Seeker. I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool name. So I searched up into Google how to start a clothing line with zero money, because I didn't want to invest a lot of money in something that wouldn't pan out. So I literally searched that into Google, and the first thing that came up was a company called Printful. So I was like, all right, cool. So I signed up immediately for free. I signed up with Printful, and then I saw that there were like a lot of store integrations that they would work with. So basically, what Printful is, for those of you who don't know, a Printful is like a print-on-demand clothing supplier. So basically, when you get an order in your store, they then print that single item and ship it out for you to whoever ordered it. So you don't have to hold any inventory. You don't have to hold any stock of stuff, and you don't have to put any money up front, because then you pay them, but then you still get paid for the sale. So works out great. So I signed up with them. I saw that they integrate with a bunch of stores, but almost all of them you had to pay for except for Etsy. So I was like, all right. I made a free Etsy account, and this is all within like days. And then I make a graphic for the Freedom Seeker shirt that I want to sell, and I'm like, all right, I'll sell a shirt for $15. And it was like a cool shirt. I liked it, and a few people bought stuff. It was oftentimes my family that bought stuff, which I love them for that. They always support me. That's so awesome. And but in reality, the business was set up to fail, basically, because I didn't really put much thought into anything I did. I didn't even own half the clothes that I was making. I just would make it and put it on the store, but I wouldn't even order it for myself, which now I look back on it and it's just really funny. But basically, so I started that. It didn't really work out. I did that for like 6 months. And then I had the store up though for like a long time, but I didn't update it anytime after 6 months of starting that. And it made a little bit of money, but it was nothing crazy. And I kind of lost the passion for that, after a while, because I didn't know what I was doing. But from the time I started that until when I started Kosmos, I really I took time to learn a lot about business, and I took time to learn a lot about like how to start things and do it right. And I still don't know that much, and I'm learning every day, but I decided to try and learn more about how to do business stuff like that. So I spent a lot of my time, just reading up and like watching videos and stuff on like how to do those kinds of things. And then, long story short, it's like August now. It's August of 2020. It's been like a year since I've really done anything with Freedom Seeker, and since the store's been taken down and whatever. But this phrase really just like comes to my mind. I'm thinking about this phrase, and the phrase "be a visionary" just really like stuck out to me. And I just like I don't know how, I don't know why. I think it was the Holy Spirit. He was just like, I think that's a really cool phrase. So I kind of resonate on that phrase. I think about that phrase for a few days, and I'm like, be a visionary. Be a visionary. I really like that. So I look up, what is a visionary, and it's like this is my own version of the definition, but it's like a person. This is how I think of it. It's like a person that can envision a huge change for whatever they want to do, or can envision, big goals, or can envision these things that other people can't because they aren't visionaries. So if you're a visionary, you are set apart from normal people in terms of you can expand your thinking in a way that can really affect change in this world. And I really liked that phrase a lot. So I was like, okay, I think this could be a real thing. I was like, I think this could be another clothing business that if I actually do it right, I think it can really succeed. So I spend, so I have a whiteboard in the room across from me, and it was like midnight one night, and I write on this entire whiteboard like a plan that I had for visionary, so I can see it all out on this big thing. And then basically, let me see if I get in focus again. All right, so basically, I have like this whole plan, and I write it all out on my whiteboard, and I see it all. It's like midnight, just some like random night. We I don't think we had started school yet, so I had some extra time on my hands. But basically, I think about that phrase for a lot. So for a lot of time, so I try and find a domain name that I can buy. Be a visionary. It's taken. Visionary. It's taken. Visionary clothing. Like, just all these things are taken. The socials, the domain, and everything. And I literally tried for like a month to figure out a way to integrate visionary into the name of the company, the name of the brand, because that was what really resonated with me. But it just wasn't working. And so I didn't give up because I knew that I need to like start this thing. But I knew that I had to pick a new name. And so this is like kind of how, I typed in how to start a clothing line with zero money. I literally typed in cool words in ancient Greek into Google, because Nike is Greek for I think it's like some Greek god or like something, but that's like cool. It has like a double meaning, and like it's a cool word on its own, but it actually means something more. So I was like, I want the brand that I start to be something like that, something that is a unique name, but also like means something. So I spend, a couple of weeks just trying to find like a really cool name. And then the name Kosmos, I saw when I had done this one search, and I was like, that's a really cool word. Kosmos, Kosmos. And then I immediately think of like the stars and stuff, which if anyone knows me, they know I love looking at stars. I love doing astrophotography and that kind of things. But this was Kosmos instead of Kosmos. So I was like, what does Cosmos mean? It actually has a lot of meanings. I think there's like 15 meanings, but the one that I use and the one that I take it is world. It means like the whole world. And so it basically means like world in Greek. So I took that name, I ran with it, I secured a domain kosmosclothing.com for $12. Thank you, Google. And I locked in that domain, and then I set up a website with Squarespace, which I had been working on this website since August. So by this time, I've already put in a good amount of money, a lot more than like what I had put in with my last business. And so I have a domain, I'm working on a website. Now I just need to have a design. And I forget where I think I saw this really cool font on like a group on Facebook that I'm in. Yes, I still do use Facebook, not that much, but they have a lot of really good groups. And so I was in this group on Facebook. I saw this font. It's called Lasa Masa. I don't know how to say it, but I really like the font. So I was like, I'm going to keep it simple. Just the words, be a visionary, and then the words visionary with the I for the O, really simple, nothing too technical. And so once I have these designs, I send it off to Printful. I get a sample order of a hoodie. Looks good. And so by this time, I'd say by this time it's early October. I'm finishing the website. I still had all of the social media accounts from Freedom Seeker. I just erased all of those posts and I renamed it so I'd start with some followers. I think it was like 80 followers, so nothing crazy. And then I was ready to go. And so I knew though that with this business, I wanted there to be like a purpose behind this. I don't want this to just be like a way for me to make money, which it is, but I want it to serve a purpose. Because at my heart, I thought in my heart, at the bottom of everything I want to do, I love missions. I believe that God has called me to be a missionary. And so I try to incorporate that in my daily life, my personal life, and now in my business life. So my grandparents started an orphanage in Guyana, South America, where they're from. They started that about 12 years ago now. And they both passed away in 2018. And so now my mom runs the orphanage from the States here. And so I was like, okay, I think I'll do something where 20% of all the profits, not sales, of all the profits I get from this will go straight to the home. And that way it serves a purpose that isn't, only to benefit me, but it benefits all the kids who are in the home. Because a lot of these kids, a lot of the kids aren't orphans, but they come from families that either don't want them or they aren't fit to parent. So, it's like a really unsafe home. It's an abusive environment. There were even some kids, though, that were left on the street to die, and we were able to find them and recover them and, help them in their life. And we've had 2 alumni now who I think they're 19 and 20, and they now are in the United States for the first time ever, and they're studying here, which is such an amazing opportunity. So I wanted to be able to support, stuff like that, because I believe there are now 30 kids at the home, or like somewhere around there. So I had a name, I had a website, I had socials, I had the clothes, and I had a purpose behind the whole business. And so, I decided, all right, I think we're going to do this. So it was I believe it was like the end of October or so. I got a bunch of my friends to model the clothes for me. Shout out to all of them. They're so awesome. They have been so supportive throughout this whole thing. And so they were able to model the clothes for me. And then I took some pictures. I made a really cool video. And then, I put it up on November 1st. That's when it dropped. Or it was November 13th. It dropped. So it was halfway through the month. And the response I got literally just blew me away. I had spent months and months and hours upon hours behind the scenes working on this brand, and I really put my heart and soul into it, and I really I believe I did it right this time. And so I think all of that attributed to the success that it's had so far. And we've been live for like a month and a half now. And I'm currently working on a new collection. So I can't see in my camera. This is the old one, Visionary. And I'm working on a namesake one. So the Kosmos name, that is going to be live soon. But yeah, I basically just wanted to come on here and, explain how this all started. But really the heart behind this whole thing is to inspire a generation that I believe is lost, and a generation that is depressed. They're filled with anxiety. They don't know how to move forward in life because they don't have any calling. And I really believe that our generation needs revival. Our generation needs a spark of the Holy Spirit. Our generation needs the Lord to just come and help us, because we're going down a wrong path. But I think that it's very possible for kids my age to spark a change among the whole generation. And I really think that's the whole soul message and the intent behind this entire brand. Is I just want to inspire others to take a stand, use the gifts that you have to make a change in the world, and really empower other kids our age to strive for greatness. Because I'm not even a legal adult yet, and I don't say that to brag, but I say that to show you, like, it's possible to do all these things and you can't even sign your own name for a contract yet. Like, it's definitely hard, but it's possible. And so I think that's what I want to leave with you guys today, is that no matter how young you are, how old you are, how much money you have, like, I started my first brand with absolutely no money whatsoever, and it's possible to still do that kind of thing. No matter how old, how young, no matter how much money, no matter no matter your skin color, no matter where you're from, none of that really matters as long as you strive for greatness and use the gifts that you have to impact a change in this world. And I believe it is possible for every single person. And so, yeah, I think that's what this whole podcast is going to be about. This was just the story of how I started, but I'm hoping to do more of these in the future. And I'm just really excited for all the things that God has planned and all the things that are in store. But yeah, thank you for listening. And if you're watching, thank you for watching. Yeah, that's basically all I got. So peace out.